Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I am Reverend Tiffany White, Sage Woman. This show is brought to you by TruePsychicsNetwork.com. This is a TPN TV show. And if you're viewing this live, welcome. Even if you're viewing this recorded and archived, welcome everyone. And thank you so much for tuning in, whether it is live or you are watching on your own time and archives. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, watch this show. It means a lot to me and I'm very grateful. All right, so I have had 2 weeks off from my TV show. Last Tuesday evening I had a radio show only, and that was to accommodate a special guest who had some difficulty getting on air, but it was okay because I did give some readings, and it was just I think what needed to happen. So it's just got to go with the flow with a lot of things, right? Just go with it. Go with the flow, grow with the flow. Can't be so set on these things. And you know, that's show business, so to speak, as being the producer, the show producer for True Psychics Network for TPN. You've seen it all. So you kind of know, just go with it. That's all right. Whatever. All right. So I wanted to give everyone a chance to join us who are watching live. They get a chance to get into the chat room, and you're able to chat with each other and also with myself. I can read your chats. So if there's questions or concerns or feedback you would like to share with me, absolutely encourage that. And also, if you're watching this show on a replay from the archives, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me or contact me. I encourage feedback. Now, those of you who are longtime viewers know that I start the show off usually with some numerology, the number of the day, to let's see what the energy is of today's date. And we use the full date. In numerology, we take numbers down to a single digit from 1 to 9. So let's look at the complete date of today. November 25th, 2014. So November is an 11 month, which in itself is very powerful. 1 plus 1 is 2. So today has a 2 vibration just on its own, the date. So now we have the month, which is I'm sorry, November is 11, 1 plus 1 is 2. And then the date is the 27th, 2 plus 5 is 7. And then this year is a 7 vibration. So if we were to add it all together, the month, the date, and the year, 2 plus 7 equals 16, and 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay, so that is how we get the numerology for the day. So today has the 7 vibration, the 7 type of energy. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is okay here technically. Everything's going good. All right. So the 7 type of energy for today, it's a day for meditation and getting in touch with your inner self. Today is about your own spiritual realizations, wisdom, and hope. You'll find comfort in being alone today. It is a good time to reflect over your most recent activities in order to observe the merits of your actions and see what you might feel needs to change, but don't engage in self-criticism. It's not a good time today to start a new project or other activities. And a confrontation with a loved one is possible, so let's not get overexcited over mundane things. And this is a great message for the day, especially over world events that's happening. And we'll get back to that in just a few moments, okay? But that's a beautiful reminder of today. Remember that we need to do a lot of inner work today. I think a lot of us are doing that. So, also, There's weekly horoscopes every week. That's why it's weekly. With the True Psychics Network, each member has a chance. Each week each member will take turns and channel the messages for the week. So this Thanksgiving week, Reverend Heather DeLusso has channeled the messages for each of us. So be sure to check those out. And that's on the horoscopes page of TruePsychicsNetwork.com. So I highly encourage you to check that out. Beautiful, beautiful horoscopes, like I said, and messages. The True Psychics Network, or TPN's annual charity event, is in full swing. It has been taking place. It started November 1st and runs to the end of the year, December 31st. There's two things you need to know about this. All right. The first is vote for a True Psychics Network member, the member of the year, and each member represents a charity. And the second thing is to donate to this charity, to the winning charity, I should say. And each charity is good. How do you find out this information? You go to the annual charity event page on True Psychics Network, and all the details are there. Shows you all the members and all the charities that they have selected. Again, the winning member, charity also wins. Their charity also wins. So you make a donation to charity, and there are free gifts available. So if you make a donation, like a $50 donation, check the $50 category of free gifts. So there is $25 donation, $50, and $75. In each category, each separate donation has separate free gifts for those that donate. So these, there's many professionals who have donated their time, whether it's a service and also some of the products, to this event. So we're really excited about that. And this is going to be bigger, we know, with each year. And so let's get out there and donate some money for charity and have some fun with it too. It's a little, fun competition amongst the members. So with the whole voting, so I think they get to have a badge on their page of the, TPN member of the year. It's all in fun. And charity wins in the long run. That's what matters, right? All right. I also have another show this evening. Get Spiritual Insight show twice today. Twice. Yes. The TV show today, now. And then a radio show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And that can be listened to. You can listen to that on the True Psychics Network channel of Blog Talk Radio. If you also go to True Psychics Network's website and click on the magazine, because the magazine promotes each show, gives you all the details on how to get into that radio show this evening. All right, so this is something that I will do periodically, is open up the phone lines. I also have a guest this evening as well. So last week, he had some difficulty getting in, so we thought we'd try this week. It's Reverend Terry Baker, also a member of True Psychics Network. He is very gifted, and we're really happy to have him back on the airwaves with radio shows and with giving readings. So he had to take some time off for some personal growth and development, and we've just got to do that from time to time. So now he's ready to jump right back in and be of service for everyone. So I applaud that. Be sure to check in, like I said, this evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. Now, briefly, I'm going to discuss this. What had, I don't want to say globally, because it really just affects the United States, doesn't it? But the whole case, and I'm not going to go into great detail, what happened in Ferguson, okay, that case, and the reaction. All right. Please know that we do not always have every bit of information to properly make any type of judgment about anything. We shouldn't be judging anyway. But to properly speak about it, or to know And know that if you are being asked to choose a side, that's separation. If you choose a side, that's separation. This whole thing is has gotten out of hand, let's just say that. All right? And it is taken and twisted into so many different avenues. It's really sad. It is. Because what you're being asked to, and you'll see this on many social networks, you're either for the officer or you're for that young man that was shot down. Wait a minute. I've never liked choices. Never. Ever since I was a child, and I'll tell you why, is because it's a separation. Let's just stop and think about that for a moment. This or this, well, you're making me divide. You're making me separate. The truth lies in the whole thing together. United. That's where the truth lies. Truth never lies in one side or the other side. You won't find the truth there. What you're going to find is a bunch of upset people on either side. Right? Hello, people. You were falling for the separation tactics each and every time. And it is a choice. It is. And how do you know that there wasn't a karmic debt being settled between the cop and the young man? How do you know it wasn't something they had agreed on to balance in this lifetime and everyone else gets involved? It's your choice to get involved. I also know that when you riot and you act like a criminal, don't be surprised when you're treated like such. There's no place for rioting. And when you do that and it's put on TV for the whole world to see, you are spitting on our ancestors who have fought for equality. Martin Luther King Jr., would he be at a riot? No, he would not be at that riot. And anyone else, for that matter, who has been a symbol for equality and oneness. Yes, it gets me upset, because why do we fall for this? It's very weak energy. You're not strong when you choose a side like that. You're going with the mass of people. Stand in your own power. Stand in that oneness. You don't even have to make a choice as far as which side to represent. You know what side I represent? Humanity as a whole. That's who I represent. That's who I stand for. And exactly. You do not know the whole story. We never know the whole story that anything the media has to present to us. All right? And even fellow psychic mediums, as we feel the energy of what's happening, we also know to respect, not to talk about it. We also respect, like I said, maybe it's a karmic exchange. Maybe it's something they agreed to settle and take care of. All right? And we should not get involved. Oh, but, that's not right because these things are getting... Let me tell you something. Every day is a rape on humanity. Do you understand that, what I'm saying? Every day in every culture, there is separation, there is war, there is beating, there is hurting. Really? Hello? We really have evolved, but the media sure doesn't depict that, does it? We don't feel like that sometimes. I woke up with the heaviness on my heart because I could feel the divine feminine energy sad. Sad. Why are we acting like this? There's no reason to react that way. And you're going to loot a business that's not even involved. Really? Come on. How is looting these businesses helping? You know what it does? It hurts. It hurts the consumers. It hurts all of us when they drive their prices back up to cover any losses. And then the ones that did loot, you just opened up a whole new karmic agreement for yourself. Don't whine, complain, and be a victim about it. You chose to be involved. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because that's enough. That's all the attention it does need. But I'm going to say, let's do this. Let's take a step back for a moment. Take a short, deep breaths here. And each and every day, several times a day. I like to light incense. So you can do this with incense or with a candle. I chose not to light my incense until showtime so I could show you this. But we have to remember that we are a bright light. Each and every one of us is a bright light. Love and light of this divine energy. Where is our power? By being. Being. You don't have to go do anything. Being. If something happens that angers you, sit with that. Why does it anger me? Okay. Am I directly involved? No. Is there anything I need to do? No. How about you respond, not react, but you respond in a more loving way? How about that? So, it's very powerful, but because we don't see it with our own eyes, we don't think it's powerful. This is very powerful energetically, and you can feel it. All right? So, every time I light incense, the stick incense, or even you can do that with the cone incense as well. All right? And I like to do this. You see this flame? Sit there and stare at the flame for a couple seconds, and I'll say, I am the light, you are the light, we are the light, shining brightly in all directions. Hold that flame up, and you can see it go out in all directions, like a sun, the sun rays. The lighthouse, great symbolism with the light going out in all directions. We are the light, and we are shining brightly in all directions for everyone, for humanity. Let's raise these vibrations of love. There's lots of things that happen that we don't understand. But don't you think, let me just move this. I think the incense is right in the camera. There we go. There's lots of things that have taken place for a very long time that we don't understand, and that's okay. All right, we just have to let go of that. And understand our mission, understand our path. What are we here for? All right, and we don't have to get on a horse and be this strong warrior, going into battle. And many of us have these memories of doing that in past lives. But we have really evolved away from that. We don't have to be like that anymore. Okay? But yet a lot of us still act like that, don't we? We still act that way. And we have to settle in more with knowing who we are divinely. Being that divine love and light. All right. I also, those who watch every week, I like to give a crystal message and a power animal message. And I was not surprised when I saw these two, because to me they go kind of hand in hand. Let's see. They always do. It always makes sense with everything that is discussed. I allow this TV show as a time for channeling messages. I allow the guides to come in, and they actually like this. And so that's why certain times I will have two shows. Like if a guest wants to come on, I'll put them on radio. Just because the guides like to have their time to channel, and I actually like it too. And it's the same thing. It's a form of healing. Just like sometimes a healer, if they haven't given a healing session in a while, they feel backed up. Well, it's the same thing. If I don't deliver these messages, I start to feel antsy. I start to feel backed up. I have to share. So this is why we kind of lock down the TV show just for the channeling messages. All right. And so any guests that want to come on, though, they can come on. I'll just do another show. Oh, darn. 2 shows in one day. The misery. All right. So the crystal message for this week is turquoise. Any surprise? Turquoise? Turquoise? I know I'm being funny. Turquoise. But turquoise is the stone of magic and wisdom. It carries powerful spiritual properties that align themselves to the wearer. I always feel deep connection to the goddess when I wear to the divine feminine, the divine mother, the goddess, very much Egyptian type of healing when I wear turquoise. So isn't this what we really need today, is to turn the TVs off, stop getting in these debate that separate, right? And let's get back into that oneness and that stillness and in that meditation. I still have hope for humanity, don't you? Don't you? We wouldn't be here if we didn't have hope for humanity. All right, the power animal message for this week is the condor. Condor. Now, there is a belief from the South American tribes. Their symbol is the condor, which is feminine. The eagle of the north, of North America, is the symbolism for us, but it's masculine. So it kind of makes sense that eagle, we're under masculine influence in North America, but you go into South America, you definitely feel the strong. This is why so many people love South America. As you go down and there's this strong feminine energy, right? That's why. And it's also balanced, though. It's not just one or the other again, right? It's this balance. Because the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine energies were gagged. Be quiet. You're weak. We don't want to hear from you. The condor. And that peace will start in the western part of the world when North and South American, when the eagle and the condor fly together in peace. When they are reunited from the west, peace will go to the east. Isn't it beautiful? It's a beautiful prophecy. It's a beautiful Native American from South America prophecy. Eagle and the condor. All right. So condor, of course, represents death and rebirth. A death and rebirth. Prophecy. Knowledge concerning the death of a loved one or a challenging situation. Purification. And love of the Divine Mother and the Goddess. Because, let me tell you, when you're in that place of the Divine Mother, she demands, she commands balance. It just happens. Balance. So you are in a very balanced place. Some people may feel like that's all you need is the Divine Mother. Don't forget the masculine aspect of it. And she has such a beautiful way of incorporating both that you're not even realizing that it's balanced and you're getting both. All right? Sorry, my nose is itchy. Nose itching? Who's talking about me? I'm kidding. What does that mean? Means my nose itches. So, well, I think you can see Mama Gracie in the background. The mama dog laying down. She stuck her head up. She agrees with the whole Divine Feminine, right? Woohoo! All right, now on to the topic. And actually, the person who asked this question is in the chat room. Hello, Angel. Welcome to the show. The topic is preppers and survivalists. This is a great thing. We were having a discussion, Angel and I, and she asked this great question. Does preparing for a disaster create or manifest the disaster? That's a great question, isn't it? Stop and think about that for a moment. Does preparing for a disaster create or manifest the disaster? Do you bring it to you? Do you make it happen? Now, to say that this is a question that that I have asked myself and struggled over a while ago when I had volunteered, when my family and I volunteered for American Red Cross when we were in Georgia. So let me see, we've been in Connecticut for 9 years. So it's been over 10 years ago, probably like close to 13 years ago. I really struggled with this because I saw the good that American Red Cross did for the families and their disaster response. All right, responding to and going and helping these families that have had a fire and their home is destroyed and they lost everything. Beautiful work that they do there. Now, also, too, Georgia, you have to understand, was Hurricane Alley, right? was part of intense hurricanes. So, the hurricane season came up and, hey, we need to prepare for this. So I remember how I felt when it was, we had to teach people to put together a kit. A kit. In case you have to evacuate. So you take like this huge clean, you buy a huge clean garbage can and you just start stuffing stuff in there, whether it's first aid, whether it's some food and water and this and that, extra clothes and any supplies and medical records and meds, vitamins, whatever, blah, 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 into this thing. So that it's in one place that you can grab it, put it in your car, or take it with you, or it's just in one spot. If you need to evacuate, you take it with you. So, I thought, when I was reading over this list and having to share with the public, because we attended many expos and the sharing, and I realized that I started to feel uncomfortable about it. That people actually create, if they just don't listen to this as advice, take the advice and move on. But when those that really get upset or worried about, oh my goodness, is this going to happen? This is going to happen. And I did this. I went to this extreme. I bought this. I did this and did this to prepare. Be careful. Be careful. You can tell when you're going overboard because usually family members and other people will go, wow, you're really overreacting to this. Listen to them, because then your fear is the one in charge, and your fear is overacting. All right, your fear is making you prepare this way. But the thing is that it's manifesting. Remember, the more energy that you give to something, you're breathing life into it. You are making it happen. You're making it manifest. All right, so let's not do that. Let's not bring that hurricane or the disaster or whatever we're preparing for to happen, right? It's exactly. Let's give it as much energy as we give having a first aid kit in the house, just in case, right? We buy it, we get it, boom. When we have, and I don't say medicine cabinets anymore, I like to say herbal cabinet. When we have in our kitchen, these herbs for emergencies, or just and not really emergencies, because you can use a lot of these herbs every day, herbs and oils, and just and maybe if there's some meds that you need, but you have everything in one spot, and it's there, but you just put the stuff in there and it's there, okay, and you move on. You don't dwell on it. You don't dwell on it. All right, so. Like emergency, we have smoke detectors, but you shouldn't worry about it, right? These are the things this is the examples of. We do have a lot of tools and devices around us that help us to warn us if something is going on, but we shouldn't obsess over it. We really shouldn't. All right, so just get your kit ready, get whatever you need, and then put it aside and go on with life, because it's you don't want to make it manifest. And it's not just in now disasters. Let me use this example as well. I remember in one of Sylvia Browne's books, and if Sylvia Browne, hearing the name upsets you, you have to deal with that. I'm sorry, she helped me tremendously find my spiritual platform at a time where I felt like I was lost. Just her books had helped tremendously. All right, despite that, and then I did get to meet her. Anyway, it's hard to believe that last week is the year anniversary of her crossing over. So I think this is my way of honoring. Hey. Thanks, Sylvia. Anyway, here's an example Sylvia Brown gave about being careful, how powerful our thoughts are and how we are in manifesting. And she did give actually a lot of great examples. I'm just giving this one about this woman who there was a rapist going in the community that was loose, and they were trying to the police were trying to capture this rapist. All right. And so this woman who lived alone was becoming obsessive over her being by herself, was becoming worried that this rapist was going to come to her house. And what would she do if he did? And so she would make sure that she had, say she didn't have a gun, I don't think, but she went and got some tools to defend herself if that came to be. But the fact that she gave this a lot of energy, do you know what happened? That person that she was so concerned about did come to her house. All right? Did come to her. But she was prepared, and she was able to subdue him, and the cops came. Now, here's something where we can overthink this. Did she create this to stop it? Was she the one that was supposed to put an end to it? The thing is that the whole point of this is to show you how powerful we are to draw something to us, right? We are always the creator, absolutely the co-creator of our life. All right. Great question in chat. Don't natural disasters happen, though, also for certain lessons? Yes, and here's something we forget. Let's be reminded that Mother Earth is a living being. Earth is a living being who has allowed all these other beings to live on her. Plants and animals were here long before humans were. She considers humans as part of her being. So, can you imagine having a child that's not being disrespectful for you, hurting you? And this is what we do with nature. It's disposable. Treat nature horribly. And so when she's got to balance these energies, don't complain. Don't complain if you're caught up in that. All right? So, and then again, it's all a part of keeping the balance. Keeping the balance. All right? And it is for certain lessons. Just reading some more comments in here. So... yeah. See how many people around her are going. All right. Going on a mission trip. Missionaries going on a mission trip. I have asked the guides about this. And it's different for each people, so I can't really clump everyone together. I can't clump them together. But know that you choose where to be born into. So let's make first an effort to get along within our own community. And then when we do get the desire to move and it's time to move along, then fine, to move along. But the sole purpose of going on this mission or trying to save other people, that's beautiful. Just make sure it's really coming from a place that you know this is what you need to do within your heart, and not that it's it's coming from a false place. All right, and only you will know that. Examples to be given of this is that if it's truly your mission, you will do it. As long as you're not going over there to convert anyone either. You're going over there to truly help them. Don't ever convert and try to push your belief, even if you are standing right in that beautiful divine power. You know and understand you have to be respectful when you are traveling to different countries and to different cultures. All right? And everyone does have, like I said, their own karmic, and all that means is just you're balancing it out. We balance it out. It isn't God balancing out. It isn't this huge justice type of creature or energy, or like we like to think of the justice as a woman with the scales, and just whatever symbolism we use for justice is beautiful, by the way. But it's we understand it's a divine universal law of balance to keep the balance. All right, and so we forget about that each and every time we choose separation over oneness. Then it constantly has to, the scales of the universe constantly trying to stay in a balanced state. All right, but knowing that when you have to react in violence, that is never a good reaction. Not anymore, not in this time and day, and actually really never. But, when we had to start over, when humanity had to start over, when our DNA was stripped because we abused our powers in Atlantis and the Mauryan times, when we abused, we were, I don't want to say disciplined, all right, and then we had to work our way back up to turning back to the light. Guess what? We have done that. We have more than halfway done that. We have made great progress turning back to the light. Many of you may not think so. That's why I want you to turn the TV off, stop reading the paper, and feel. Ask to energetically connect with the other light workers, with the other light beings, those for peace. And you will see them, you will feel them, you will know, all right, that you're not alone, and that there's many out there. Many. More than ever before. All right? And this is why we're seeing those low energies, those low 3D energies starting to attack and implode on each other. And that's what's going to do. Boom. Implode. Understand that when we talk about this time frame, everything that man has created is in the underworld. And this underworld in the 3D of Earth, or the third dimension, is imploding, because even Earth now is at the 5th dimension. And we are at the 5th dimension and higher, because we've always had higher vibrational people here. So they're even higher now. All right? So it's very beautiful how we all work together. Just we can't be stuck in that lower vibration. And those that are, quite honestly, wouldn't watch shows like this, wouldn't even be involved in spirituality. And they're the ones that's going to balance everything out by, I would say, going out in this lifetime either by war or natural disaster. Because they're done. They're not going to be submissive and turn back on their own to the light. And that's okay. That is their own choice. And, so no one is ever lost, though. Everyone goes back to God in one way, shape, or form. Or this divine type of energy. Okay? Because we humanize too much. We humanize that every other being is like us humans. Oh, God, I hope not. I mean, come on, really. If it was the case, we would be under war with other universes, right? Or with other, because we are many multiverses within the universe. So there would be many people that we would be warring with, not just ourselves. Know this, that only on this earth plane is where negativity and separation live and thrive. All right? I have never met a fallen angel, a dark angel, a bad angel. Angels are special creations. They are our protectors, and they are pure love. If we had fallen angels, let me tell you, it'd be a quite different story. Different story. The whole fallen angel reference was us. We were up there in those beautiful high vibration and the high level underneath the angels, because angels are We can get back up there, but we will never be in that phylum. You have to understand they're special creation. They are so close to God or to that divine energy. They're such a high level. All right. So we need them there. We humanize angels. We humanize aliens. We shouldn't do that. I have been communicating with all sorts of life forms for over 40 years. And I have never met a dark one. I have never met a bad alien or ET. Never met a bad angel. Now, I'm also not being disrespectful if others have, because you created that reality. You feel they exist, so you are going to believe that, and you are going to meet this type of energy in one way, shape, or form. Whether it's in your dreams, whether it's you think in your own reality, you can deal with it. All right? But I can tell you, if there were bad aliens, they could wipe us out no time at all, with nothing. All right? We're still here. And they don't want to get too close to us, because they know how we react as humans in humanity. They see the danger in separation, and no way do they want that. Lucifer actually, you know what Lucifer means? Lucifer means light. Do you know that if you do research on the Statue of Liberty, she is a Lucifer statue. Lucifer means light. Always wondered how that word got turned into a negative when Lucifer means light. All right. So, and that's what she does, right? Think of the Statue of Liberty with her light, her torch, shining brightly. Somehow, our own light has been made to be bad. You can't shine your own light. That's dangerous. Yeah, the church and other religions want you to believe that so they can control you. You need them. You need that middleman to talk to Creator, to talk to God, to talk to wrong. We have our own power. We have God inside. We have our own light. All right. Again, that's separation. Separation. Because you know how powerful we are? We are so much more powerful than any lower vibrational could ever be. No matter what training you have had, military-wise, no matter how much money you have, no matter how evil you may think you are on this earth plane, you are blocked from going into the higher divine levels and dimensions, and it's your own choice. You're blocking it. Access denied. You don't have that security clearance. So these people who try to scare and intimidate others, they're not that powerful. They're stuck. They can't get past a certain dimension. You can get higher than them. Raise your vibration. They can't touch you. Because they have to be at the same vibration. And they'll be so high that that's the last thing you can't have war in your intention to be in those high level vibrations. All right? We all have extreme divine power within us. And it is very simplistic. Doesn't need a lot of words. Doesn't need a lot of explanation. It is just purely and simply love. Love. All right, right here, Sacred Heart Center. You know that feeling that you get. All right, for those who have maybe forgotten. Oh, well, last time I felt love, I was betrayed, and I built a wall around it. Yeah, they want you to do that. People who want to control you want you to do that. They want you to disconnect. They want you to separate. They want you to feel like that, so they can control you. No. No one can control you without your permission. And we have given our power away way too many times we have given our power away. We really have. All right? Now, here's something that's really interesting too, that the guides have brought up before showtime, talking about this interesting aspect or point, is selling your soul to the devil. How many times have we heard this, maybe in sci-fi and in books and anything, of, the whole concept of selling your soul to the devil? What does that mean exactly? First off, let's identify the devil. Any kind of demon, any kind of devil, any kind of evil is man-made. Exists in the underworld. All beings, creatures, situations on a negative level that man creates is in the underworld. It's right where it should be. It's in the lower dimensions. All right? So, now you're going to succumb to something that mankind's fear has created and given life. So selling your soul to a false god, which there you go right now, the church violates its own. You should have no other gods before you. Well, don't throw the devil in our face. Hello? Okay? No, that's man-made. Selling your soul to the devil pretty much means you gave your power to an illusion of control. When you make a choice to riot, when you make a choice to go into an area outside of peace, are you not selling your soul to the devil? Are you not stooping to that level? You are giving your power away. You are giving your divine power away. Hey, I'm going to follow the masses. I know deep down it's not right, but you know what? Who cares? Let's just do this. Weak, weak, weak. Very weak. It shouldn't just point to the mind as being weak. It's actually weak-hearted. They're very weak. Okay? And if you do any research, and I know a lot of people kind of cringe on this, but you have to understand that many of these organizations, and even secret organizations, were meant to keep the truth, the divine truth of who we are as divine beings. Whether it was the Templars, the Knights Templars, who started off with great intentions. It was only when they opened up their membership to, criminals, and then it got kind of off track of its original intention. But the Masons, a lot of people have, oh my goodness. But if you read Freemason book and you find these words, Lucifer is in there a lot. They explain what these words are that has been turned on us, or absolutely can be sure of that the church gets hold of any type of documentation or tries to send their spies into any secret group to try to then turn them into being bad groups and spinning out any type of messages they may have or symbolisms and making them bad. All right? So it's feel it. Put everything to the heart. How does it feel to you? Don't you know that you can feel when you're being lied to? And many of us do. Right? I know for me, when I hear a lie, I get sick in my stomach. I get nausea, my stomach flips, and it's like, yeah, no. Because my body is saying, and my spirit is saying, we're not swallowing this crap. This is so not true. Ugh. Get away from it. How does your body, mind, body, and soul react to hearing lies? Now, how does your body feel when it hears the divine truth? You just know it's right. You don't really have to have words. You don't have to explain it either. Sometimes words cheapen it. It cheapens the feeling, doesn't it? Right? We don't need to do that. We never need to sell our free will, our soul, to any type of movement, to anyone. All right? We have to stand in our own divine power, and that's what that means. Even if you feel you're standing alone, but I can guarantee you you're not ever standing alone. Even though it may feel like that, but you're not. You're not. And I did too. When we were in Georgia, I felt like it was a Bible Belt. Here I am spiritual. I couldn't say anything spiritual at that time, being shunned. A lot of my friends, though, that are in Georgia now, they're very spiritual and they talk about it. Everything's fine. Look how much progress we have made. That's great. Just in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, we have absolutely come a long way. All right. Telepathy. Yes, absolutely. Telepathy is undescribable. Telepathy is a beautiful way of communicating. And even though I've heard so many conspiracy theories about how, certain people can control telepathy by certain different energetic pulses they put out or whatever. Oh, come on. Again, when you're used to working in divine energies, you can recognize the fake. And we're not helpless. We are very strong. And they want you to, or the powers to be, whatever, want you to think that humanity is fragile. Really? Are we? Because our history books shows us we are not fragile. Because we keep coming back and doing the same stupid things over and over and over. It's got to stop. And that's why many of us are here. And many of us are, it's going to end. It stops. I am going to see peace by the time I leave this earth plane. I know that. I've been on this earth plane. It's not how old I am. Because I reset my biostat. I'm only 30 age-wise. But the end of December, I've been on this earth for 48 years in this lifetime. And I know that by the time I'm done with this mission, there will be peace back on earth. Yes, it's coming and it's fast. It's not our children, our grandchildren. Oh no, time has accelerated, has speeded up, or whatever you want to call time, but it has accelerated. Just think about how much faster our days are going by. How it just seems like you used to be able to get a lot done in one day, and now you're having to spread it out with 2 days because it's going by so fast. And that's okay. Be gentle with that. And we also are finding that because of this energetic speed up, that we might need more naps, that we might need to pamper ourselves a little bit more. Do it. It's okay. Take care of ourselves. All right. Yes, I plan to live to be 1,600 years old. Why not? You can. Do you know that Earth, from what I do have, I know many of you know this, that my alien guide, one who hasn't had a life on this earth plane, his name is Andrew. Many conversations with Andrew about life on the other side or life outside of Earth, let me put it that way. Because there's many different places where we can choose to have our experiences. And as a psychic medium, and trying to, people are like, well, where's my mom or dad or so-and-so? I haven't seen them in a long time. They're no longer in this universe, in this area. Each planet, or each, I should say, area of existence has its own other side, too. And then there's the main other side. And so, which are interestingly called, certain planets and certain ETs or whatever. We're all related. We are all related and connected. Anyway, we don't have to always come back here. Life on these other planets or in these other universes, we can live thousands and thousands of years, but it takes that long for us to achieve the same levels and lessons that we do here on this earth plane. So, what I mean by that is that 80 years, I'm going to get, and I know I'm going to live past 80, but I'm just saying, use this example. So, what we would spend 3,000 years on another planet or universe, we're going to cram it down now, compress it to 80 years, and you're living in a place where negativity was stored. A negativity's warehouse of the whole universe as a whole. Right here, the Earth, and we came here because we wanted to progress on a much faster rate. Are we having fun yet? We gonna do this again? Many people don't come back. They have very few lives here, and they're like, I am not coming back to this earth plane. And that's okay. It's their free will. We know free will exists, but it's like we don't want to take ownership. Don't blame God or blame anyone else, or, it's you have to take ownership. It's your responsibility, your choices, your actions. So stop playing the blame game and let's get to work. So, and yes, in the Bible, there's people who lived for thousands of years. And so you have to, I'm not going to get into all of this about the Bible, but it was not the original compilation that was put together. Let me say that. It was greatly butchered and torn apart. So there are still some truth in there, but there's a lot that's not. All right. So it was tried to be used as a control mechanism again. Anyway. So those who lived for thousands and thousands of years, yes, you have to understand the first tribes on this earth all came from different places in the universe, different aliens, different ETs, different communities, different tribes as well. All right. And the 5 tribes of Earth, all right, they're all star brothers and sisters. And we got along with each other then. And we just started to attack each other by the color of our skin or by different cultures once we were on this earth plane. How messed up is that? But in the very beginning, we lived for a very long time too. And you have to understand, when we first came on this earth plane, we weren't in human bodies. We were pure light. It was an energy. It's hard for our minds to understand, but we were this energy form. All right? And then it was, we created the human body, and I know a lot of people's going to have a hard time with this, but we created the human body. We had to put on an earth suit to survive here, because I want you to look at the earth compared to other planets. This is a garden, isn't it? It's a planetarium. And the oxygen here is different. We have to put on these human suits to survive here and to have this true experience. We truly did forget who we are, and that our ancestors are well beyond not just the ancestors of this earth, but we also have ancestors outside this earth plane. And they are rooting for humanity. They are rooting for us to turn back to the light, rooting for us to finally put down the sword and guns of war, the weapons of war, and turn back to peace. And we are doing it. We really are making this progress. Know that. Feel that. Ask for signs from your guides. Guides and angels are all around. These helpers are all around us, these beautiful divine beings. They want to help you. Don't be scared by the communication. And it's going to come in nice and gentle for you. All right. Sometimes they will scare you if you're being stubborn and don't want to listen. They'll give you a little jolt every once in a while. But really, the color of our skin, it should mean nothing. Zilcho. And any oppression that Americans have felt existed long before America did. We're forgetting about the other parts of the world that are older than us. All right? So, Why should people in the here and now be responsible for any oppression or anything that happened a long time ago? No. And you weren't always your skin color either. Or a male or a female. You were a different sex. You looked different. You lived in a different part of the world. And for those of you who can remember, if you were in your star with your star families, or most people can, because they'll just remember it's just space. I just remember spaceness, or this type of I know I'm not supposed to be. I know the here is not my home, because they do remember their home outside of Earth. All right, they remember being in the stars. All right. So, let me just read some of these chats here. Yeah, we have forgotten who we are. And that's right. That's the whole thing with people owning guns. I have to tell you. And I know in the spiritual community, in the spiritual realm, I got this and this and this to protect my family. Do you know what's most important? What is the most powerful ever? Our vibrations, our personal vibrations. I know I've brought this movie up before. It's the remake of The Return to Witch Mountain with The Rock in it. Check it out. And then the kids, the way they modernized it, they were being shot at. The brother and the sister held hands with everyone else too, and it formed this force field, so to speak, and the bullets just fell down. We are that powerful. We forgot. Yes, we can stop that negativity right in its tracks. We're doing it now. All right, but to affect something physically, I'm not saying, hey, try that. No. It's just a good example of how powerful, more powerful than we really, really are. How come in these ancient, like Malta, the underground caverns that they're finding, that there's no smudge marks, there was no fire of torches or anything against the wall? How did they see down there? Because we lit the place up. Do you believe there were scientists who proved that our human bodies can put off nuclear energy? Safe energy. But we forgot how to do that. Right? It's all stepping back into it. All stepping back into it. Really are. And it's beautiful. It can feel a little scary, but it's absolutely beautiful. Because I'm telling you, it's depressing to think that this is all we are. How many people are depressed? This is it? This is it? Because they're believing the lies, they're believing the illusion that's set forth to them by society. And those that want to control, no. All right, don't buy that. You don't need to dance that dance. Walk away. Okay? So, we are very, very powerful, and we're remembering this as we're stepping in. And every day I say I'm an instrument of peace. Would that be you do that too. Just even saying I am is very powerful, and anything you put behind I am makes it so. I am an instrument of peace. Yeah. So just I hope that this has been helpful for you. Stay in the high vibrations. We are protected. And it's not that anyone is judging anyone else as far as those that can't get into the higher vibrations. It's their choice whether they want to do their work to get there or not. And the only people who judge are those themselves. If you pass judgment on someone else, you're judging yourself. All right. There is a difference between judgment and observation. And healers know this because we observe the body. We observe everything that's going on. No judgment. We just observe what's going on. And then take this person and this situation to the higher vibrations. We do not apply what we think needs to be fixed. We just take them to the higher vibrations of where they are perfect. And most people have given up on that idea of perfect and complete. But perfection and completeness exists in oneness. All right? Just keep that thought with you. So I hope that many of you have a very beautiful Thanksgiving. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving in the United States. But every day should be a day of thanksgiving and receiving, right? So let's just make it a day of gratitude, as each and every day should be a day of peace, love, and gratitude. So with that, just be sure to check in on my radio show this evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the Spiritual Insight Radio Show, where my special guest will be Reverend Terry Baker, and that is the True Psychics Network channel of Blog Talk Radio. Be sure, of course, you can find me on True Psychics Network. You can also find me on my personal website, whitesagewoman.com. And I'm saying sage, S-A-G-E, whitesagewoman.com. Be sure I do have a YouTube channel as well. Goldylocks Temple of Healing is the name of my business. So if you on YouTube, check out Goldylocks Temple of Healing. All of my shows are there, and also just some short videos that I make, about 20-30 minutes long, depending on when the inspiration comes in. The guides are like, hey, talk about this. Okay, let's make a video. So thank you all so much for listening, and much love and light to each and every one of you. Thank you for sitting in this divine circle. Everyone present has received healing. You feel how we are sharing and loving. That's beautiful. And there's circles among circles among circles, and there's just so many of us out here, and just keep shining that bright light even when you feel like you're in a room of darkness. All right? So shine on, sisters and brothers, and until next week, have a very beautiful Thanksgiving and receiving week. Many blessings to you all.